So what I have here is I have a shape that I want to create a path around. Now in this case it already has an outline, which is easy to see, but I'm going to create my own path around it. Now in order to do this, oops, let's set this up so it looks right, you're going to want to come to the pen tool up here in the upper left. It looks like an old-fashioned pen. Now if I click and hold on this, you will notice that I have the pen tool, which creates paths. I have a thing that I can add an anchor point to it, I can delete an anchor point that's there, and then I have this thing called Convert Anchor Point Tool. You're going to use this a lot. Now in order to keep all these things open if I want to, I just come over here. I'm still holding down my button, by the way, to keep this open on my mouse. When I come over onto this section and let go on this part, it pops this thing away and I can click and drag it out there to keep it open. Okay. Now a couple things I'm going to do. I do not want to create another path like this that actually has a fill and all that. So I am going to come over here to my fill and I'm going to set this to none, so there is no fill, and I'm going to come to my path and I'm going to make this a different color just so we can see it, like say a green. Okay, so when I come up here, let's delete this, take my selection tool and just say, you know, I don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to come to my pen tool and I'm going to click on these points. So I click, and as I click on these points I create anchors, and you can see that I'm creating this green line. Now to make my life easier, I'm going to click every place where it changes direction, and you're going to notice I'm going to jump some areas pretty far because this is all one smooth curve. So I'm going to go from here to here on the same path. Anchor, 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 and then come back and reconnect this. I don't have to do anything except click on it, and it's going to try to snap to it anyway, so that's easy. And bang, there you go, I've created a complete path. Okay, now this is the section with the curves that we're going to focus on, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on this. So what I'm going to do is I need to bend these things. So in order to do that, I'm going to use the Convert Anchor Point tool, because otherwise if I use this, I'm just going to draw a new path. So I'm going to use this. The shortcut for this is Shift-C, and this is important to use a shortcut. You're going to see why in a second. I click on the anchor, and I click and drag, and you notice that it starts to create curves. Now it's curving in both directions, top and bottom, or both sides of the anchor really. Don't worry about that. I'm going to line this one up, and then I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to grab this handle, and notice it labels it handle. Click, and I'm just going to drag it back here and point it back down itself, and it goes back to being perfectly straight. Super easy. Now I've got a smooth curve here. Now this one is going to curve around here. To avoid some confusion, I'm going to get this one out of the way first. So I'm going to go up here to my anchor, click and drag. I'm still using that Convert Anchor Point. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. I need to zoom out apparently. Let me zoom out. Okay, so I've got this going in the right direction. That's fine. I'm going to take this once again, take this handle. I'm going to come back here and point it back down itself, which makes it straight again. No problem. And you're like, wait a minute, I lost my handle. This is where your other shortcut's going to come in handy. Up here, this is the Direct Selection tool. The Direct Selection tool selects part of an object. It selects a path or an anchor or a handle, whatever. So the shortcut for that is A. Once again, this is something you're going to want to use, because if I use this one right here, the Convert Anchor Point, and I click on this path, it's going to go, you can't do that, you have to click on an anchor. Okay, well, so I go to A, shortcut to A, my Direct Selection tool, I click on the path, and voila, there's my handle again. Okay, I can drag this out some more. Now I need to get the handle on this side, so I'm going to go back to my Convert Anchor Point, Shift-C, grab the anchor, click drag. It goes in both directions. Once again, do not panic. Okay, I'm going to finish this one off here, so I'm keeping this tool, the Convert Anchor Point, and obviously you're going to have to offset this a little bit to get it exactly how you want. You know, if you were making a perfect circle, you'd just make a perfect circle, but I'm trying to copy a curve of a perfect circle by hand. That's tricky, just like in real life. Okay, so now I got this done here, and once again, if I grab this anchor point and click and drag, you can see that it messes with the line that I just made, which I can get it back. That's cool. And that does give me this handle eventually, but that's kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead to get this anchor point once again is I'm going to hit the Direct Selection tool, A. So it's two things, A and Shift-C. You're going to use A and Shift-C back and forth all the time. There's my handle. Okay, I can bring this back along, because it does not mess with this one. Okay, I need to get this anchor right here, Shift C, click and drag that. Yes, I know I just messed with my other line, not a big deal. Okay, I can just fix that real quick. It's going to want to kind of go back in the direction you had it before anyway. It's easy. It's nice like that. A gives my direct selection tool, click on the path, there are my handles. So now, and I do like that it labels what you're picking up at least, even though it makes them very small. They're always a pixel wide, which is really annoying. You can't change that, unfortunately. You just have to deal. What you can do is you can make the path here a little bit wider, and then later on, if you want to make it thinner, you can change it afterwards. No big deal. Okay, so as I said, the tools you're going to use is this right here, the Convert Anchor Point tool. That's Shift C, the Direct Selection tool, Shift A, and then of course the pen tool itself, which is P, to create your paths. That's pretty much it.